Hi, Dr. TJ Dixon, your intuitive guide to transformation, connecting to your best life. Today's message is about following inspiration, doing what you feel inspired to do. So I wanted to share this message with you because that has been an intention that I have had lately, is to do what I feel inspired to do. It's also a message I've been receiving in meditation nearly daily, is to do what I feel inspired to do and step into the stream, which means to step into the higher stream, step into divine energy and the divine stream that is guiding my day. And so I wanted to share that with you because I've had some phenomenal results when I have been doing what I feel inspired to do. So lately I have had some things I've needed to do regarding taxes. I have a client that recently came on board with me, and this client was behind on a lot of things with their bookkeeping because they did not have a bookkeeper for a while. And so a lot of it had to do with taxes and things like that. So as I was doing, I wanted to, of course, get them caught up as soon as possible and get everything done. And I wanted to have it done like yesterday. However, it was only so much I could do on a weekly basis because that client isn't my only client. I had other clients and I had other types of work to do, such as coaching, facilitating retreats, all those types of things. So I couldn't devote all of my time to this. So what I decided to do is just to do what I felt inspired to do every time that I took a stab at getting this client's books all the way caught up. And what I found is on those days where I did the actual things that felt good for me to do that day, that felt right for me to do that day, not only did I get them done, I got them done quicker. I used less energy trying to get them done, and I felt good when it was all over. Because one of the things for me is that I'm the type that I can work myself to the point that things get done, but they get done in a very hard way. Like it could be hard on my system because I won't take breaks and I'm just trying to power through. And I can effort my way through almost anything. But now, at this phase in my life, it's important for me to flow, and it's important for me to do what I feel inspired to do. So again, it would be the exact same amount of work, but when I would do it with inspiration, because that's what I feel inspired to do that day, I would get through so much more of all the stuff they were past due on, that it would be phenomenal. I would get further than I thought I could, than I thought I would have had I just powered my way through on a day when I was not inspired to do that particular segment of their work. So when you're doing what you feel inspired to do, I really think we're more in line with divine timing and divine order, and things just come easier, faster, and smoother for us. Sometimes, like in my case, you even get more done than you thought that you would have, especially had you did it on a day when you weren't inspired to do it. Another thing that I have noticed about doing what I feel inspired to do is that it just seems like everything kind of falls together. Like there have been some times when I have wanted to do a particular thing. Maybe I had my task list set up for today. I had my to-do list set, and all of a sudden I get a phone call and there's an emergency and I got to just drop everything and go handle whatever this emergency is. What I have found is when I finally get back around to doing the things that was on the original to-do list, maybe it's 2 days later, maybe it's a week later, it seemed like I have now so much more information that now I can even get through my to-do list even better. Sometimes it's stuff that I thought I needed to do that now I no longer needed to do because it got resolved on its own. It kind of got done itself. And so again, inspiration is so important that we follow that. Another case in point, I had it was a vendor that I needed to call regarding something that I needed from the vendor. And I just, when I finally got the information, the contact information to call this particular vendor, that particular day, I just didn't feel inspired to call the vendor. I had time to call the vendor, but I'm like, nah, it doesn't feel right. I'm not going to call this vendor. Now, this is something that, again, it's just a task. Had a phone, had the number, didn't feel inspired, so I didn't do it. Well, a day or two later, I was looking through a folder that I had, and the very thing I was going to call the vendor about was right in that folder. So again, because I followed inspiration and I didn't call the vendor, I saved myself some time. I saved myself some grief. I saved the vendor time and the vendor grief so that they didn't have to redo and give me something that I already had in the first place. And again, it was by following inspiration. Another thing I'm finding too with following inspiration is how much joy and how much bliss really comes from that. There have been times I have just been inspired to maybe go to a brand new restaurant that I've never been to before to try some food that maybe I've never even had. And for whatever reason, I just feel inspired. Oh, I need to go to this place on this particular day and do this particular thing. And I will discover something that I really enjoy eating, that my body really enjoys, that's really healthy for my body, and my body's really responding well to. I've had that happen on a number of occasions. I was in San Diego back in December, and there was this particular restaurant there. Shout out to Swami's Cafe in San Diego. Really, really great cafe. Had never been there before. And I was trying to find a place to meet for breakfast. My husband and I were going to meet my aunt and uncle for breakfast, and I was trying to find a place for us to eat, and we were going to originally meet near our hotel, and then we decided, no, we're going to meet near their hotel. And then it was finally like, no, the smartest thing for us to do is for us to meet in the middle, because of whatever obligations we had after that. They were leaving town and we were going to a particular event that was near. And we ended up going to this place, Swami's Cafe. It was halfway in between, great restaurant, had all these stars. So we go in there and they have like the best coffee. Not so much for my opinion, because I don't really drink much coffee, but my aunt, my uncle, and my husband all drink coffee and really, really like this particular coffee. My husband did. So that ended up becoming, for me, a gift to him at a later date. Being able to buy these particular organic coffee beans from this company that I knew nothing about. And now my occasional cup of coffee that I get typically on the weekends is ground from these beans, and I'm still enjoying that to this day. And every time we drink it, we can think about that cool trip to San Diego. Again, total inspiration on why we wound up in that particular cafe. But not only did that, going to that cafe was inspired because they had and they ended up having amazing food and this really great coffee that ended up being a really great gift. A surprise gift to my husband later. It also ended up being a place where we ended up with a person who just wanted to I guess do a random act of kindness. There was a lady there who we never met, we didn't talk to, but she was observing us and decided to do a random act of kindness and pay for our breakfast, which was very unusual and had not we weren't expecting whatsoever, but it ended up being so on time because that particular day we were having a conversation about, following your intuition and following inspiration and having faith, and how all things can work together for good if you just allow them, and you continue to. That even that thing that looks bad, it can turn into some good for you, because maybe that's just you getting blocked from going a certain direction because there's a better direction for you to go and something better for you on the other side. And we were having this conversation, and then we get ready to pay for the check, and the server comes and says, well, today's your lucky day. Your check's been paid for. And we're thinking he's joking. But no, we just so happen to be in the stream of this woman wanting to have a random act of kindness, and it flowed right into our conversation. And it was just total divine inspiration, because that needed to happen that day to almost to even be a real life example of the conversation we were having that day. And that really made a huge impression on all of us. So again, I just encourage you to really follow inspiration. Sometimes there could be something that's really needling you to do, and it makes like no sense, like totally no sense. It's totally not logical. Maybe there's something that you know you need to do. You just don't want to do it right now. Wait until you feel like doing it. Even if it's something that you know has to be done. Like I said, I was talking about taxes. Well, I had a whole bunch of work that I needed to do. I did not have to necessarily do the particular, like call the vendor, for instance, to get the W-9. I didn't need to do that day. And when I waited, I discovered that I actually had the thing from the former bookkeeper, that it had been put in a weird space, a real weird place, and I ended up having it anyway. Sometimes if you just follow your inspiration, again, things will resolve themselves. You might be led to something super cool, super great. It might save you time, effort, energy, all of those things. And even in the practical parts of our life, follow inspiration. I'll say one more thing about that. It has been about 2.5 weeks since I recorded a video, and I normally like to put out a video about once a week, and I was really trying to force it, like, well, I need to put out a video because I put out a video once a week. And then I thought, okay, am I putting out a video because I think this is what I should do? You know what I mean? Should do this. Or am I putting out a video because I feel inspired that there's some message that I really want to give you all? What was it? And so because I have been, again, working a lot, doing a lot of tax heavy work in these last couple of weeks, I've had several clients that I've had to do some tax work for or bookkeeping work for. So I've been kind of in that type of mindset for the last few weeks. I just hadn't had an inspirational message yet to put out. I mean, I had some that I had thought about, but it really wasn't fully formulated because, again, my mind was kind of really shifted into the whole accounting, bookkeeping, tax mode. So I said, you know what, I'm going to put out a video again when I feel inspired to do that. And so here it is today. Do what you feel inspired to do. Step into that divine stream, that divine energy that is leading you and guiding you and showing you the way. Yes, you are going to take action, but take that divinely inspired action, and you will have such amazing, amazing results that will lead you to live your best life. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the comments, the views, the likes, the shares, the subscriptions. If you would like to contact me, all of my contact information is below. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, that's below. If you want to like my page out on Facebook or follow me on Facebook, that's there too. If you want to contact me because you are looking for some virtual coaching sessions, if you're looking for someone to facilitate a retreat for you, come in and speak to your group, again, contact information is below. My email address is there. So is my website. Check me out. Again, thank you so much for watching. Do what you feel inspired to do, and may you live your best life.